I'm glad that we went there because we share. We're going to talk Cowboys. We're going to talk Cowboys. We're going to talk scouting. We're going to talk draft stuff. We're going to talk all the things that you like. But since you brought it up, I was going to kind of wait till like maybe the middle or end, but we'll get right to it at the beginning. One of the things that you and I share in common is mental health, right? We're both huge advocates of mental health. We've both been through some traumatic breakdowns in life and have overcome them. And that's something to be praised. That's something to be praised. And if you want, just share some of the people, just some of the things that life has just thrown at you, man, that you've been able to say, you know what, living one more day just sounds like a better deal.
So what do we do with cuss? Do we cuss?
Yeah, we can do whatever we want.
Okay. I don't know if I want to or need to or if I'm about to, but just in case.
Yeah, we're good.
I feel like the way that you started the show was very unplanned, and I had no idea how he was going to start the show, but as soon as you said it, I was like, damn, that's powerful and incredibly relatable, because it kind of spoke to one of the things.
My thing is on this show is kind of like come for the words, stay for the sports.
Okay.
So this is the word part that they'll get.
Yeah, because I think that is like truer words have never been spoken. If it was like, hey, pick from these 100 things that we could say that are very personal and potentially super meaningful to people, a breakdown kind of being a requirement, I guess, for a breakthrough is very, very, very real. Because, like, yeah, I'm a mental health person. It's like that. Even when you say mental health, it encompasses like 6 million things, right? Like, and everybody's is different. We could be talking about childhood trauma. We could be talking about genetics. We could be talking about, I don't care. And so, like, I've got anxiety, depression, ADHD. Bang, bang, bang. Throw them together. It's a lot of fun. It's tons of fun because what it does is, well, you can just do all the math, right? ADHD, it's like your brain wants to do 12,000 things at once. Anxiety means that you're going to find the thing that you could like fear the most, and then depression means it's going to bring you to the worst possible outcome. And it's like, boom! So that's a lot of fun. But I have found that the times in my life where whatever is inside and that you have tried to hide from and live whatever way you do that is comfortable and like just exist and play whatever role you're trying to play and just try to get by. For me, eventually that's hit a spot multiple times where it has led to a breakdown, which is lots of tears or a panic attack or whatever. But those have tended to be the things that would lead me to something very meaningful. Like the first one led me to talk therapy for the first time. Yeah. Or no, I guess the first one led me to the doctor. And that was diagnosis, which was, oh, you know this runs in your family. And I was like, no, actually I didn't. And so that was discovering depression and anxiety and medicine, which some people are for, some people have a stigma against or preference not to or whatever. And I don't judge or shame anybody for literally anything you do. If medicine makes you feel better in any way, shape, or form, good for you. If you choose not to and you've got other ways you can get to it, good for you. I love you all. And so, yeah, like a breakdown is what led to me realizing what goes on in my brain and my body and all the things. And then another breakdown led me to therapy, and therapy led me to being in them multiple breakdowns, which are just realizing things about yourself or memories or whatever it is that you have that are obstacles, which then leads to massive breakthroughs, which change your life or save your life.
Absolutely. Can I be, this is Unfiltered with Jesse Holley. And as long as you've known me and I've known you, I've been an honest person. I've been a real person. And I can say today, and I don't know, this is taking a weird turn, but I love it. I can say today, I love you. And the reason I can say that today, that I love you, because it didn't start that way. And you probably didn't know this. And this is probably the first time you're probably going to hear this. But when you and I met many years ago, I was like, do I like him?
Well, I'm socially awkward and I have resting bitch face.
But it wasn't the socially awkward thing. To me, the thing that kind of, I was like, he's not being authentically himself. That's what I thought early on. I was like,
depending what year you met me, it's probably true.
No, I want to say it is true.
Yeah.
I want to say it is true. And then over the years, I've seen you, I've witnessed you grow and grow and become more comfortable with being Jeff Kavanaugh. With not saying, well, I have to be this for them, or I have to be this for that show, or I have to be this in this group of people. It was like, you know what? Screw all that. This is who I am. This is who I am. This is the way God made me. This is my good, the bad, the ugly about me, and boom. And I think when you began to live that life, and maybe there was some breakdowns that came for some breakthroughs, I was like, I love that dude. I love that dude. Because we sometimes, as people who live our lives in the media, whether it be radio or, my past was, NFL, we feel as if at times we have to put on this facade, all right? And we have to put on this mask in front of people. And it's like, well, this is what they expect me to be, right? This is what I should always be happy. And I should always have, everything should be great in my life. And because I'm a public figure and they listen to me on the radio and they see me on YouTube, that I always have to be this go-getter. And that's not reality, right? That's not reality. And I think more people respect you now and love you more now because they're like, wow, he's just like me. I suffer from listed.
Yeah, fill
right?
in the blank.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I am not perfect. The same fears that he talks about having, I talk about having. Those same nightmares that he talked about he's had, I currently have. And I think that's so powerful because people are sometimes looking for comrades, are looking for allies, right? They're saying like, man, I'm feeling these things, but it doesn't feel natural to me. And so I mask and hide mine because I don't have anybody that I can reach out and touch. And I know you get the same thing. I get the same thing because I speak out about mental health as well. And I've gotten so many DMs and texts and all over the emails. And people just like, man, what you said, what you've been through, I'm going through that currently. And it's like, it's hope. It's hope that even the people that they sometimes deem and put up on this pedestal, that it is something that you can get over. It's not the end of the world, and it's a reminder to love on people. And one of the, I'll talk for myself and speak for myself is for me, it was 2 years ago. I had the biggest breakdown that I've ever had in my life. And I talked about, I've said this many times before, but I talked about this machine, and I considered myself a machine. That I can just go and go and go and go with no repercussions, no feelings, no emotions, no vulnerability, no rest. Like nothing could ever break me because of the environment that I came from. And I was supposed to be this to so many people, right? You play football and now you're put on this pedestal as this Greek god and nothing breaks you, nothing hurts you, and you're able to do these things. And then you come to a point where you go, I'm not a machine. I'm actually a human with feelings and emotions and fears and angst and all these things. And I went through this period of time where I was in the darkest place I've ever been in my life. Never to the point where I was considering and thinking about suicide. And I've never been in that place, but I had come to that point where I broke. And it was great friends and family who helped pull me through it, and where I found therapy. And it was the greatest thing that ever happened to me. And then being able to come from that point now I can sit here and say, I'm flawed. I deal with anxiety. I deal with depression. I'm not this big, strong, mythical creature. I cry. I laugh. I get angry. I get frustrated. All those things come into play. But every single day, I just take it one day at a time. And I go, if I can win today, we'll worry about tomorrow. But today is about winning.
Yeah, there's like 6 places I want to jump in, but you were also rolling.
I know.
So I'm trying to figure out which one to do.
Just pick one.
Because I think there's like so many different things when you go down the road that you're just going down there where it's like one of them is, I'll go back to personal, like playing a character or wearing a mask or trying to be what you think people want you to be or whatever. I think a lot of times it's just a massive and overwhelming desire to either fit in or meet expectations or whatever. Yeah. And in my case, yeah, like I've done radio now I got hired in 2009, it's 23, so 13, 14 years, whatever. And you just want to be likable. You want people to like you, which means I'm the guy that, oh, we want to do some silly stunt? Cool, I'll do it. Oh, we're going to do something with listeners at an event? I'll get rip-roaring drunk. Like, I'm going to do all that stuff. I'll be the guy that does anything. Right. And it's because you want to be liked, you want to fit in, you want to progress, you want people to notice you, you want all of these different things. And obviously there's nothing really there. Like, you're not achieving anything, you're not serving yourself in any way. But I also think that goes back, for a lot of people, that goes back to it's not necessarily even a work thing or whatever. I think naturally we're probably chameleons. Like, we can adapt as humans to situations, to different groups of people, and we can do those things, and it serves us in some ways. And I think we can find the mask or the character that we play a lot of times in a family role, literally from the age of whatever, where you're playing a role that you don't know you're doing, and so I think it's hard to do, and I fail at it constantly. But like when you talk about seeing or meeting me for the first time, you're like, I don't know if I like now I've reached the point where I still do it and I still think it, where you'll meet somebody and you're like, ooh, they got a lot of work to do. Like, that's not good. Yeah. And I try now to balance it. I think it was a Brene Brown thing on a podcast where I heard and she tied faith into it, and it was something about somebody that she was judging because the way that they acted or whatever was inappropriate. And the question was like, okay, well, are you a believer? And she's like, yeah. And it was like, okay, what if I told you that, like, God comes down and just asks you, what if I told you that they're trying their best? And it's like, damn it. But I don't like that person. I want to judge the hell out of them. And it's like, and then you realize it's like, oh yeah. And I've been in places where I've done things I shouldn't have, and I've said things I shouldn't have, and what if we did? It's hard to do. Like, gave everyone the benefit of the doubt that, what if I told you they're doing the best they can, just like you are? And it's like, crap. But they suck. Yeah. They really do, though. And it's like, I want to change everything about them. And it's like, yeah, and I don't know. Empathy, I guess, is a superpower that we all fail at different times, but it's also a cool thing to strive for.
No, you're absolutely right, man. And I always want to tell you that I love you. I also want to tell you thank you for always being an advocate for others. And if you're watching this, just know that you got two people who are sitting up here who aren't perfect, who go through a bunch of
stuff,
who go through a bunch of stuff, man. And
I talk about it every Tuesday at 11 o'clock on a couch.
I'm Wednesday. I'm on Wednesday. Okay. Today's the Mental Health Wednesday for me. But you know, I want people to know that there are places for you. There are people for you, and you know, we always say that, you know, man, shoot, hit us up at any point in time if you're ever having a moment. And I have people that do it to this day that'll hit me up, DM me, and be like, yo, I'm having a day. And I'll just be like, let's talk through it, man. Let's do what we can. I'm no therapist, but I'm here to be a helping hand. So, man, I appreciate that from you. Okay. All right. We're done. It's
over?
Yeah. No, we're not. It's not over, but we're going to talk about sports now. People are like, oh, the word is great, but let's get to the sports part of this, man. And, you know,
just for fun, we are going to talk sports, and that's why people clicked on it, but I promise you he'll get more reaction and more people he meets in real life that are going to say that something in the first 10 minutes really mattered to them, and no one is going to come up and be like, man, I really loved what you said about Stephon Gilmore. Nobody. That's the thing I've learned.
Yes.
When you become accidentally a spokesperson in the mental health world, is every listener that comes up to me and says that I have been important to them in some way, it ain't ever
about sports.
Vulnerability,
man, is key. Vulnerability is key.
I feel like I don't know people until I know their stuff. Like, if I don't know your stuff, you haven't really become a real person to me yet. The first time that you tell me about something that is a real struggle, that is a fear, that is a whatever, it's like, cool, now I can relate.
Yeah.
I can't relate when it's like, yeah, everything's perfect, and it always is. And I'm like, that's not true. But okay, it's nice to see you. Anyway, sport.
Yeah.